the state channels themselves are, you can make them however or whatever you want. So I mean, like obviously with our work we're doing with the government, I'd be very surprised if some of the use cases we've talked about they would ever want to see the light of day. That makes perfect and total sense. But for some individuals, sort of more focused on the commercial aspect, accessibility and also perhaps liquidity between units of value might actually make a lot of sense, right? So the goal here is just to make sure that the protocol is a framework for you to make your own sandwich. So yes, and in terms of uh, so how does this whole thing kind of fit in? So I mentioned beforehand with the question on horizontal scalability that there's sort of this movement towards like flat microservice architectures where the actual process or like some kind of a use or some kind of utility or some small application basically, it sits on its own in its own instance, and we have it becomes like one component in a larger kind of plug and play system. Um, Also, obviously, and basically, from this perspective, having a network of state channels is very similar to, well, I mean, it is. It is the same as saying that your backend at this app or this company uses a microservice architecture, because each individual state channel is its own blockchain or DAG. It's its own DAG. It's its own actual protocol with its own rules. And thus, all of the resources needed to process that type of data, that type of use case is, maintained, hosted, and, kept track of by the domain experts, the person who built it, right? Anyway, so the whole idea here is that we are trying to create a giant microservice architecture for storing topological data and hosting topological data, just like the internet. So naturally, horizontal architecture is what you needed.